Alison will teach you, no worries, no stress.
Hello smart people and welcome to Instructor Alison online tutorials. In this math video tutorial on trigonometry, I'm going to be explaining explicitly how you can be able to find the tangent of 135 degree without stress and without the use of calculator. Okay, let's get into it. Now, keep in mind, whenever you're talking about tangent of 35 degree, it's easy for you to represent it like this: tan 135 degrees. So we want to figure out what this is. All right. So the first thing you want to do is to think about this tan. This number is quite large. What quadrant does this particular number falls into? Is it the first quadrant, or the second quadrant, or the third quadrant, or the fourth quadrant? Some of you are not even familiar with that quadrant. Let me show you something real quick. I'm not going to give you all the details about quadrant, just for the one that applies to this one. You can decide that this is your east, your west, your north, and your south. The ancient days, they always say that we are situated within the center of the earth and the sun revolves around us. They always measure the angle like this. Maybe this is angle theta. They always measure the angle from the x-axis like this. So if they measure the angle from the x-axis from the east, so they say that the sun moves like this, just like that. That's what the ancient people say. Then we are within the center of the earth. Okay, so in that case, if it starts from the x-axis like this, and remember from this point to this point is 90 degrees. If you move from this particular point to this particular point, that is another 90 degrees, which makes it 180 degrees. If it covers another point from this point to this point, that is 270 degrees. That's another 90. If you add 90 plus 90 plus 90, 270. If it covers again to this particular point, that is another 90 degrees, which adds up to give us 360, which is why they say angle at a point is 360 degrees. Okay, that's not the information I want to give you, but I just needed you to know about this particular story, which I've just shared. All right, so with that being said, keep in mind, what I want you to know is that if tan theta is 135 degrees, that means it can never fall within this first quadrant, because this first quadrant is 90 degrees. This is the second quadrant, which is 180 degrees. So 135 falls within this second quadrant, and you have to subtract this 135 from 180 degrees. And keep in mind, the last thing I want you to note is that tan theta on the second quadrant is negative. Write it down. Tan theta on the second quadrant is negative. Those are the information I needed to use this quadrant to explain before we solve this problem. Let's get into it. All right. So with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider to hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon so that whenever I upload new video, you will receive notification, and make sure to like this video and share if you found it helpful. Now, at this point, we'll just have this to be tan 180 minus 135 degrees. And of course, 180 minus 135 degrees, if you take away 35 from 80, that will be 45. So I'll have this to be 45 degrees. But this is just tan 45 degrees, and it's not giving you any of this option you're having. So we need to develop this particular. How do we get tan 45 degrees? Remember, I told you that tan is negative on the second quadrant. So don't forget that negative sign, else it will affect your work. So what is now tan 45 degrees? You can use this special angle to get that value real quick. This particular one, let's assume this side is 1 unit, this side is 1 unit. This place is 90 degrees. This is the angle 45 we are looking for. And this side is the hypotenuse, which is longer than this particular two sides. So we just decide that this side should be 1 unit, and this one, we don't know what that is. You can find that if actually you're looking for maybe cos 45 degree or sine 45 degree, because of the SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA defines these three ratios. SOHCAHTOA. For sine, you need the hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse. Cos, you need adjacent over hypotenuse. So whatever this is, that's how you can be able to get this. But for tan, we necessarily do not need it, because tan is opposite. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So that means tan 45 degrees, don't forget the negative sign we're having here. If tan 45 degrees, which is this particular angle, where is our opposite? The opposite is the side facing the 45 degrees, which is 1. We have 1 divided by the adjacent, which is 1. So that leaves us, remember this negative sign comes over here. So that gives us negative 1 over 1, which is 1. And the final answer is option A, -1. That's how you can easily get that. But say maybe you have here to be cos 45 or sine 45. You need to use the Pythagoras theorem to find what this particular side is. And to do that, you can easily say by Pythagoras theorem, let's say this hypotenuse is our x. So you can say the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the opposite and the adjacent. Sum of the squares plus, that's the sum of the squares of the opposite and the adjacent. And of course, you know that 1 squared is 1 and 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So x squared will be equal to 2. How do you get your x? You take the square root of both sides of the equation. Square will cancel the square root. Therefore, x will be equal to the square root of 2. So if this particular point is square root of 2, I'm talking about the hypotenuse. It's easy for you to be able to get sine theta. Because sine theta or sine 45 degrees will then be opposite. What will be your opposite? Opposite is this particular one. 1 divided by hypotenuse is this root 2. And you don't have to leave it like this because we're having the denominator having a root. So we can rationalize this. And then if you rationalize, it's just for you to multiply it by root 2 divided by root 2, which 1 times root 2 will be root 2 divided by root 2 times root 2 will be 2. So the answer for sine 45 degrees will be root 2 divided by 2. Pretty simple, right? I'm just talking about how to get normal sine 45 degrees. I'm not talking based on this particular question. I've already given you the information, solved, and I've gotten the answer for this particular problem. But then, for educational purpose, I just need to tell you how you can be able to get this side and find other side if you are asked to get those ones. I hope you found this particular video tutorials helpful. Please consider to hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell icon so that whenever I upload new video, you will receive notification. And then consider to join us on our Telegram channel or our WhatsApp channel to learn, get updates from us. And if you are interested to join any of our private sections, look at the flyers. Just look the one that resonates with you, and then make it. We teach IGCSE students, we teach also GCSE students, SAT students, all students preparing for all kinds of exams and all levels. We also reach out to you for private tutoring, so you can sign up for one-on-one section. And again, if you know that you have not liked this particular video, please consider to hit the like button and consider sharing this video to other students or other learners so they benefit of this particular video. And until next time, I'll see you. My name is Alison. Peace and love.
No fake equations, he'll show the clue. Alison will guide you. He's true. Panic, no need to run. He'll break it down.